Sleep in the early 1900s started with the surface beneath the body. Beds were solid and heavy. Frames were built from oak, pine, or iron. Springs sat tight and firm. You hear a dull creak when weight settles. That sound meant strength, not weakness. Mattresses were thin by modern standards. They were filled with straw, corn husks, horsehair, or cotton. Each material had a purpose. Straw crackled and stayed cool. Horsehair pushed back and kept shape. Cotton felt softer but packed down fast. Families knew the feel by touch alone. A new mattress never arrived finished. It required breaking in. People walked on it, they rolled it, they beat it with paddles. This spread the filling evenly. The goal was balance. Too soft meant dampness and back pain. Too hard meant cold and poor circulation. Under the mattress sat the spring. Coil springs were tied by hand. Rope or wire linked each coil. The tension mattered. Springs lifted the body to keep air moving. Airflow stopped moisture. Moisture ruined sleep. Listen for the low metallic groan when pressure shifts. Sheets came next. Linen ruled the early years. It felt cool and crisp, you know. Linen rasped slightly when turned in bed. Cotton later replaced it as mills expanded. Sheets were boiled weekly. Boiling killed insects and removed oil. Clean fabric smelled sharp and plain. Blankets carried weight. Wool was the standard. Heavy wool pressed the body down, and honestly, that pressure calmed the nervous system. The blanket scratched at first, then warmed fast. Sound was muted beneath it. Movement slowed. Quilts added controlled warmth. Quilts used scrap fabric. Each square told a story, but function came first. Stitching trapped air in pockets. Air meant insulation. A good quilt stayed warm without sweat. Pillows sure weren't soft clouds back then. They were actually firm and, well, pretty narrow. Folks would stuff them with feathers, straw, or sometimes kapok. The idea was to keep your neck lined up just right. Every day, pillows got aired out, you know? Sunlight helped kill off odors and mites. The bed height really did matter. Beds usually sat high off the floor, so cold air would stay down low. That extra height kept sleepers warmer at night. Under the bed, you might find trunks, or, honestly, nothing at all. Having that clear space helped with airflow, and dust would settle somewhere else. Bedrooms were generally small and, well, pretty controlled. Fewer windows meant there were fewer drafts sneaking in. Folks would open windows during the day, then shut them tight at dusk. Curtains were thick, blocking out light and sound. At night, there was a deep silence, broken only by the wind or maybe a distant animal. The walls, they were solid plaster or wood. These materials held heat. There were no hollow cavities, so sound stayed muted. The room felt enclosed and safe. Safety, well, it really mattered for rest. Heating shaped sleep, you know. Wood stoves warmed rooms before bed, and fires burned down to embers. Too much heat dried the air, but too little caused chills. Families learned the balance just by feel. Water pitchers sat nearby, since hydration prevented dry throats from all that stove heat. Night drinking was normal. Chambers sat under the bed because no one wanted long walks in the cold dark. Convenience, in the end, preserved rest. Clothing mattered, y'all. Sleepwear was loose and breathable, you know. Cotton nightshirts allowed movement, and there were no tight bands, no heavy seams. Skin needed air, plain and simple. Cleanliness was routine, that's for sure. Bodies were washed before bed. Even with limited water, this step stayed important. Dirt caused itching, and itching broke sleep. Warm water, well, it relaxed muscles. Daily labor shaped rest, no doubt about it. Physical work tired the body evenly, and muscles ached in a clean way. Sleep came faster, and the bed finished the work the day started. Meals, you know, really affected sleep back then. Supper usually came early, so heavy food had time to settle before bed. Eating late, well, that just caused discomfort. Sometimes folks would sip on warm milk or broth to soothe their stomachs before turning in. Noise control was pretty deliberate. Animals were always secured early, doors got barred, and shutters were closed tight. Night sounds stayed predictable, and that predictability, it really helped calm the mind. Lighting would fade real slow. Lamps were dimmed before they were put out, giving eyes a chance to adjust to the darkness. Melatonin, well, it just followed that natural rhythm. There was never any sudden glare. Mental habits mattered. Prayer reading or quiet thought closed the day, minds settled, worries were placed aside, sleep followed order. Seasonal changes altered setup. Summer used lighter bedding, windows cracked for airflow, winter stacked layers, extra quilts came out. Adaptation was constant. Health knowledge guided choices. People knew dampness caused illness. Air and dryness mattered. Beds were kept away from walls. Moisture hid there. Children learned routines early. Bedtime was fixed, and well, that consistency trained the body clock. Fights delayed rest and were definitely discouraged. Guests always received special care. Fresh sheets were a sign of respect, plain and simple. Clean sleep showed household discipline, and folks really took pride in that. These days, modern sleep struggles often ignore these basics. Support, airflow, weight, routine, and quiet still matter, even if folks forget. Technology just can't replace a good physical setup. A firm surface, clean fabric, and a dark, calm room remain mighty effective, no matter what year it is. You can apply this today, honestly. Choose firmness over softness. Use breathable bedding. Control light and sound as best you can. Keep your routine strict. Sleep improves when the body feels supported and safe, just like it always has. If this knowledge sharpened your understanding, go ahead and subscribe to Warfield Prepper Chronicles. Share this with someone who values real rest. Sleep built strong families back then, and it still does now.